the new Burning Legion single. Injustice is streaming everywhere on all platforms now. Off their debut album, En Saba Noor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I had my birthday, I had the NAM, I had the band shit, whatever. We're back. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure. And is this your first interview, brother?
I've done like one or two in the past, I
Okay,
think. Yeah, so
first one here on Beyond the Heavy.
yeah,
Right.
on yours.
On the Beyond my Metal and Iron brother. I should have put on my Metal and Iron shirt. But I got the Uncle Sasquatch on the show, man. I pulled him out of the woods so we could talk. Brother, good to see you, man. I appreciate your time. I know we met in person in NAM. You know, we had a blast. We had some things to say about the Fender Jackson situation, but we'll dig into that later. But brother,
Sure.
thank you for coming on the show. And we were just talking that you're literally down the street from me.
So yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm not too far from you. My mom still lives in Riverside. I was born and raised there for pretty much most of my life, maybe all except just a couple or 3 years when I was a kid. We lived in Arizona, but anyway, that's a different story. But there was yeah, it's funny because you were just saying that you imagine that I would live somewhere in the Midwest or somewhere. But yeah, I do live. You're saying that about the woods. I do live in the woods. I live in a mountain resort here in Southern California.
There it is.
So it's in the San Bernardino Mountains. It's nice and beautiful. There's rain and snow right now happening right now on the in the streets. I'm looking outside. But yeah, it's my day off, and been hitting the overtime and blah blah blah. But I'm finally done with it, I think. So I'm just back to a normal 40-hour-a-week schedule.
There you go. There you go. Does that mean we're gonna get more videos? We're gonna get more covers. We're gonna get some. We're gonna get more stuff.
Yeah. There'll be some. I always try to keep a steady amount as possible going. I always try to stock up on videos before what at my job the peak season starts. Which is a few months prior to the holidays, and sometimes even a couple months after the holidays. That the overtime will just keep going. But I think it's back to normal. But whenever that time starts with my job, I always load up on videos. I'll make a bunch of short videos and a couple of longer full length covers or even originals if I can, because after that they're in my phone or on my computer, and I'm just as the days go on, I'm just uploading a video. So think of it like this: like when I reach like my, let's just say if it's video number 30 something, that I have posted, or let's whatever video that is, that was recorded 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
Anything you see of mine is rarely recorded that week, or even just a couple of weeks prior. I will over a couple of few days or so, I will record a shit ton of videos, and I just find it a little bit easier like that, so I can both have everything coexist when it comes to having a little social media presence and a regular upload, and so I can also just live my regular life. Because in between making videos, I like to just jam in this room here, that I record my videos in, and that's pretty much it. I'd like to just have my own time and not have to worry about making videos, so I don't feel that quote unquote pressure to stay active and always record content. And most of my shit is just covers anyway, so it's not like there's any pressure to be I'm not creative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, hold on. Can I interrupt you right there? I gotta interrupt you, brother, because I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. Look, you threw out a song out there about a year ago, and it's an original because you told me, right, when we met at NAM.
I have some originals,
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if you had originals, and you're like, I got originals, bro. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna check that shit out. And brother, the one that stuck me, and I was at the gym. I was pumping iron, and you were like,
okay,
the one is called "It's in Your Nature to Destroy
yourself."
Fuck, dude. Why isn't Uncle Sasquatch fucking, giving us the president of his fucking original shit? Because you're creative, brother. That's good shit, dude.
Well, I'm not a full-time creator when it comes to YouTube and Instagram. That's what I mean. My originals come whenever I guess feel that kind of inspiration. I try not to force them out too much.
Yeah.
And so there's times where I will have a good couple or few that I'm going to roll with, and there's times where for a couple months or even more, I won't write anything.
Oh
Um,
wow. Oh wow.
so it just really just depends on what's going on in my life and how I feel, and what I did is I have there was back when and all my different in and out band days with different bands, writing songs over the years, back from when I was in my mid to late teens up until I was in my mid 20s or so, when I was, pumping out a lot of originals. Um, in hindsight, I was just churning out shit. It was just, I was just making songs just to make them. A lot of them were.
I got you.
And the thing is like I don't want to write like that anymore. I feel that a lot of musicians do that, whether they're someone big or not big, and it starts an ego in a musician's mind, because I might hit close to too hard for some other musicians who might watch this, but us musicians, we have a very, very delicate and fragile ego.
Yeah.
It would be better to kick us in the nuts than to talk about our music, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and the thing is that we don't accept it, and the thing we really don't accept that a lot of us. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am only talking about myself and my experience, and I can say from some others that I've seen over my lifetime is that the songs we write aren't that good. A lot of us, we think they're good. It's fine to be proud of them. There's sometimes a false sense of pride
Yeah.
because we wrote the song and we have an ego attached to it,
Yeah.
that we think it's good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where bands think they are better than other bands, and when I think about that kind of thing, like where I've often made statements and even jokes about it, where if someone comes to me and says, "You should see my friend's band; they're really good," and I'm like, "What was?" You can stop right there because you're not selling it to me. Why are they good? Because they're your friend's band.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get it that they're supporting their friends, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But that can only go so far because a lot
Yeah.
of friends, most friends, will never tell you that your music sucks.
Yeah, and I think you hit it on a really really good topic, brother. Because you know you're right about the ego, you're right about the fragile part. But I think a well-oiled musician, a well is self-aware musician, insightful musician would be like, okay, too many people are liking it. I'm not getting a negative thing. What's going on? You know what I mean? Yeah, and
Yes.
I think that's where we got to look inward. Like, yeah, dude, if you love the music you're playing, you're happy with it, be happy with it, right? Put
Mhm.
it out there. You know what I mean? But get ready for the world to come and fucking say what it's gonna say, right? Yeah, I agree with you on that.
It is it's a I mean, I guess it is a toxic behavior to have your friends either lie to you about your music, or maybe there's times where they don't know they're lying to you,
Yeah.
and because they don't want to admit or accept that they don't like something. And there's a lot of people, there's some things that come back, into my mind kind of recently, where there would be just a couple people who would be honest about the music or bands I was in at the time, and they would say in whatever their own words, like, I don't like it, you know, or they
Okay.
might even say in a way where, uh, you know, the, where they were kind of brushing my ego, and they would say, "You're too good for them. You shouldn't be with that
Oh
band."
man.
And what I
And that's
honestly,
just as toxic. That's just as bad.
you know what,
Yeah.
it can be, it
Yeah.
can be,
Yeah.
and it was at the time I took offense to it, because I took offense that they were, um, that they were striking my judgment as a musician on who I should or shouldn't play with. Um,
Exactly.
one example, but the thing is like I can usually be a pretty brutally honest person, and I can accept that kind of critique of what. Okay, one person is my little brother, and he's been one of those people in the past where when I would bring a band demo home from someone I was going to join or I was considering trying out for, or whatever the hell, and he'd listen to it and I'd show him. And there was one band, there was this band called Bitter Hatred, They were this kind of black metal-ish death metal band, and they had asked me to join, and they had a CD, and I put it in. And my brother was seriously only listening like 10 seconds of each song, and he was sitting there, and he had the remote, with the CD player, and he would listen to a few seconds, and he would go to the next song, and then go to the next song, and he goes, and he would go, nope. He goes, and he says, it all sounds the same. And I was like, yeah, come on, man. And he goes, these guys sound good, dude. He goes, and he told me, he goes, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna last with them. He goes, you're gonna quit.
Wow.
You're gonna, and I was like,
you got a good brother, man.
Dude,
Man,
I took offense to it because as a musician, talking to someone else who wasn't a musician, my thing was like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. But he was always right. He was always right. And it wasn't until a little bit later on was when he decided to kind of keep his mouth shut about it. And he didn't say anything. And then he would say something later about it when he would say, he goes, yeah, I didn't want to say anything because I saw you would get pissed off or upset. He goes, but I knew it wasn't going to last because of XYZ. And look what happened. Look what you're talking about with, and why you left. He goes, I already called it before I said anything. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, I guess so. But it's just, I think we do have to, musicians, I think they need to pay attention to those one or two naysayers, those one or two out of 10 or 100, whatever the ratio may be. I don't know. But I think we need to take them into consideration when they say something. Because some of the musicians will say, "Oh, you're just being a hater," when you're telling someone who's saying nay to your songs or your band, but they're just expressing whatever their opinion is, and it doesn't mean it's any less than anyone else's, and it's just not a bad idea to just keep it in mind. It's like, well, why doesn't this person like it? Because when this person also really isn't a friend of the band, they're a true outsider. And those are the people you want to bring in. Because, like I said, you can only go so far doing shows just with your friends, so.
No, and that makes sense because it's so funny that we're actually talking about this because with Burning Legion, we just put out a single and the reviews started coming out, right? Mainly good, which is great. But then we had a couple that were like, they didn't put, they didn't put they didn't say that what subgenre of metal they were, and they don't, it's all over the place. I'm like, hey, cool, man. Hey, that's cool, brother. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't, you might have said it in a different word, but that's cool. A different way, but noted, brother. Cool. But I think it's again, that's the beauty of the art, right? It's like there's the interpretation, right?
Yes.
There's the like, hey, you know what? Kind of like I like to take the Hendrix approach, right? Like if people say they like it, cool. People say they hate it, cool, right? I'm gonna listen to both. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
sure.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You got to meet in the middle somehow. It's like, yeah, of course, write what you want and what you feel, and that's great and all, but just don't hate on those so-called haters. It's just if they have if some of those people have a bad review or look of your music, then it's not a bad thing to say, well, fuck you, then don't talk to me. It's just I just might be like, well, tell me why don't you like it, because you might have to draw some kind of inspiration or influence on how you approach your next songs in a way, that might get someone, if not them, someone like them to like your music. So, but when it comes to me writing my own music now, it comes as I kind of see fit. I now when I write my songs, whether anybody likes them or not, because it's funny that we're talking about trying to pull in a new audience or pull in those naysayers. My thing that I'm not trying to target those people, but what I am trying to do is I'm writing with less of an ego. Before would, and I could probably speak for a lot of musicians when and I'm talking about that ego too. You write a song and you write it fast, and when it's done, you think it's good just because it's done. You know what I mean? So you have this emotional attachment to it because you wrote it.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, plenty of times.
So yes. So and so what I do now is, with all my originals that I have now, that I'll write some kind of foundation of or skeleton of a song over a couple days, and I won't listen to it for at least 2 days, sometimes longer. And then I will completely forget what I wrote, and the songs that I had written on that weekend or whenever it was, that when I left off, I was like, this song is cool. when I came back to it, I fucking hated it.
Yeah,
I was
dude,
like, holy shit, it sucks.
dude, I'm laughing because I do the same shit, dude. I do the same shit. I'm like, dude,
Hmm.
okay, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah,
You're either gonna get the what the fuck was I thinking, and like, all right, this is okay, this is bearable. Let me try a little bit, right? You know what I mean? But
right.
I get that. I get that. Yeah, gotta let it marinate. What's up, everybody? Want to jump in really quick to tell about one of my favorite brands and my brothers over at Heavy Defender Merch. Heavy Defender Merch products are a must-have for any heavy metal fan. Their banners, pins, and apparel is made from high-quality materials that feature bold, eye-catching designs that are truly to capture the essence of the metal lifestyle. The shirts are comfortable and durable as hell, man. The hoodies are perfect for when you're leaving the whiskey and it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning, it's cold as shit. Heavy Defenders offers a great selection of products for any metalhead looking to represent their passion in freaking style. With unique designs and quality material, hey, check out HDM.
Dude, yeah, I saw you gotta spend a night with it, spend a weekend with it,
Yeah.
and yeah, when I would come back, I hated it, and I would delete everything. I was like, okay,
Wow.
it's no good, it's no good.
Yeah.
Because that's a part of having an ego where it's like, you know what, you got to let it go, and
Yeah.
don't be
Yeah.
afraid
Yeah.
to let it go and start over again. There might have been a few things where I was like, okay, that riff I can work with it, and this riff, but everything else within this 4 minutes or 5 minutes that I wrote a song, I'm only keeping like 20 seconds. So it's all got to go. I'm keeping these. This maybe I can come up with something with these two sections.
Yeah.
But there's also been times where I would write something, and it would be the opposite where um, I would write something and I hated it. And I'm like, man, this sucks. Turn the computer off, go away for a while, come back, and then I came back after forgetting what I done, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. What that coming back to it was like, holy shit! I was
Yeah.
like, there's a song in here,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
picking it apart. But the songs that I have on my YouTube are the result of um, not writing anything too fast, and those are the end result of taking something and slicing it and saying, nope, this has got to go, this has got to go, this has got to go.
Yeah.
And as a guitar player, which really hurts, a guitar player is like, you know what? This guitar section is my favorite part, but I have to turn the volume down on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I know. I hear you, man. And I mean, again, and I'm saying it genuinely, brother. Your stuff is great. Your stuff
I
is great.
appreciate that. I really do. I
I
really do.
enjoy it. I enjoy it. You know, and I can only speak for myself. You know, but I think it's great. I think your approach to it is great. I think people deserve more of what you're going. But what I'm hearing is that hey, Sasquatch isn't gonna rush things because hey, he wants it quality, right? You can't rush art. That's what I'm essentially what I'm trying to
Yes,
say. You can't.
that's
Yeah,
basically it.
you can't rush it, you know, and it shows in your music. You because you know, and you've been around, brother. You know the bands that are just rushing shit, that are just like, hey, yeah, let's try to pull a Metallica, let's try to pull a Pantera, let's try to just quick. I'm like, brother, yeah, you could be in the key and do the BPM, brother, but where's the soul, right? Where's the
Yeah,
feeling?
dude.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I hear you.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh man, when that's when when you mention something like Pantera, when Dimebag writing a lot of those songs like in 10 minutes,
Yeah,
um, and them, being able to start and finish an album within just like a few weeks or a couple months or so,
yeah,
those people are not human.
yeah,
And there's only musicians once in a great while who come around like that
yeah,
and give us those awesome albums and that awesome, and then to share that awesome gift. And although it's inspiring, and sure, we want to hope to try to be like that, where a Pantera can write a song really fast, or a Black Sabbath can write a song, very fast back in the early days, and just record it off the floor. But it's just like, you know what? There's
yeah.
those demigods. You just have to leave that kind of thing to
Oh
them.
yeah, no, I mean,
So
yeah, yeah, no, no, no. As you said it right, demigods, man. I mean, it's a small percentage, right? It's a
mhm,
small group. It's a small cohort of guys that can pull that off, right?
yeah,
Pantera could do that all day. You know, that's
yeah,
Pantera, right?
hmm
Sabbath started it, so you can't complain about what they're doing, brother. They already created fucking 60 years of this shit, you know?
yeah, yeah. I know.
You know what I mean? So no, I agree with you. I agree with you. But I want to transition real quick. I want to
Yeah,
go beyond the heavy. I want to go beyond the Sasquatch. You know, because I see that we big Pantera fans, right? I've seen you do some covers, you know. But is Dime one of your biggest inspirations? Who are your top guitarists? What is your inspiration? Talk to me, brother.
Oh man, on the top. If I had to keep it down to a very small few, then it would be um, James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett and Dimebag Darrell,
Nice.
and of course Eddie Van Halen. I have well, when you watch my videos, the camera faces on this wall, and I kind of call it my dead rock star wall, and I have Dimebag Darrell, Randy Rhoads, Cliff Burton, Vinnie Paul, Eddie
Okay.
Van Halen, Ronnie James Dio. But as far as guitar players go, it's Randy, Kirk, James, and Dimebag Darrell, and Zach Wildsure. Let's see, I'm looking around my room of like my favorites.
Let
I
me
would
check what I
say,
like.
yeah, those are. I mean, those are my top. Those are really my top.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, Tony Iommi, duh. And
Good,
I have like my
good
own
song.
little wall right here of like my guitar gods, Scott John Petrucci and Dimebag and Randy Rhoads, Joe Satriani, Kirk James,
Yeah.
Tony. Um, so I would say yeah, those are it. Those
Okay.
are my tops. Especially I do cover a lot of Metallica and Pantera.
Yeah.
Um, my page is very niche that way. When it comes to the old school metal,
Yeah.
with a lot of covering a lot of Rainbow and Dio solo stuff and various eras of Sabbath. But
Mhm.
it's I think that's why people enjoy it so much. They Yeah, I don't really post anything gimmicky, all that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just straight play. I just straight play.
Yeah, no, and
So
that, and again, brother, again, this is genuine too. I think that's what separates you from everybody else. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I think, and I would love to hear your opinion because I think you have a good YouTube presence, you have a good social media presence, and you know that culture, right? So you know that these guitar
mhm.
virtuosos are just shredding, they're just shredding. But I'm like, man, like that's cool. The technique is cool. I'm not doubting that, but do you feel like that's kind of now is like it's too much now, right? Because you keep it, hey, this is what I'm doing, boom, right? Talk to me about that. What's your feeling on that?
I I do agree. I do feel a lot of people a lot of guitar players, especially, are very, very, very self-indulgent. They want to show up just to show off, and I know that because I used to be one of them.
Hmm.
When it
Hmm.
came to a lot of my old originals, I was just shredding just to shred because I was like, well, that's what you have to do to impress people, but it only impresses, you know, that many people.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't feel there's a whole lot of soul and character in a lot of songs and people's playing these days. Um, and I'm fine with doing the shred stuff. And that's another thing about my originals too, is that I've learned to really take a step back and slow down on my songs. Um, but especially my solos, there's times where I would have whatever shredding section in a solo, and I would actually cut that part out and just do something much slower. Um,
mm, okay,
I
okay.
I think people with their presence though on social media, they do things, and oh man, it's weird. It can be cringy to see sometimes when people are trying to get attention by just playing just to play, just notes. I don't know.
Yeah,
Now, there's some people who make their living on social media, and they have to do certain things, and they have to be gimmicky. It gets a little bit cringy.
yeah,
I get it. There's YouTubers and where it's their full-time job to constantly create content.
yeah,
And that's how they make money, is because of the advertisers and that they work for. That they're expected to push out a certain amount of content, and of course, drop something they're selling,
yeah, yeah.
in the middle of a video. But anyway, I'm starting to lose some of my train of thought here. But it's
No, but
but
I see what you're saying though. I see what you're saying. It's like, it gets the musicianship gets lost, right?
it gets stale. It gets stale.
It gets stale. Yeah, there's a better word. Yeah, it gets stale. And with you, you're like, if I just stay in my lane, I'm cool. Like I'm not worried
That's
about. Yeah, you're not worried
that.
about. Hey, I mean, because I've seen your videos. I'm like, the brother could play. We know that. We know that.
Hmm.
But you're like, hey, the way I'm taking it as a viewer is like, hey, I like these songs. Let me show you how I play them and I enjoy them. And I like that. You know what I mean? Again, coming from the same, we're cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
old school heavy metal stuff, right? You know, and the traditional stuff. But again, we don't. That's why I say it sets you apart from everybody else. Because again, as you said, the cringiness part, right? The kind of the gimmick, the hey, use
Yeah.
my coupon code type shit. You know, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You know, so
I know exactly
yeah,
what you mean.
yeah,
You took the words straight from my mouth. I was going to say too that it's that to come full circle about it. Yeah, that I just kind of I stay in my lane. I do what it is that I enjoy doing, and just hope everyone else enjoys it too. I'm sure there's things I could have done that would have grown my account much faster, but it would have been kind of at a cost of a whatever kind of gimmick and loss of integrity for a moment there. And so it's because this isn't how I'm making my living. I don't have to abandon that kind of dignity and
yeah,
and negotiate with that kind of thing. Was like, well, I got to keep my lights on, so I have to make this kind of video, because just to keep things going. So because it's something that's done and as I guess just on the side, as I keep it as a hobby and passion. It doesn't feel like a job.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I just get to do my own thing. Nobody dictates it but me.
yeah.
I once in a while I get from some people saying, "Can we get anything else aside from you playing, the Metallicas and Dios and Panteras and such like that?" And everything you see on my page, and I say, well, if it's
Some people are needy, man. Some people are motherfucking like. Then you play it, damn fuck.
like those are the people that will usually say, well, because I'll say like, well, what do you want to see? And I'll say, well, like some Avenged Sevenfold. I'm like, no, not here.
No, no, thank you.
You're not gonna see that here.
That
No.
that ain't Uncle
So
Sasquatch, brother. Yeah, that's the wrong uncle. Go talk to your aunt about that. Then you ain't talking to your uncle over this shit. This is the big boy shit. You know,
yeah.
this is what we live to. This is what you know. Yeah, yeah. No, I
Yep.
hear you. I hear you. Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, okay. So I got to transition since we're talking about guitars and all that stuff. You got your collection. You got a unique motherfucking collection, brother. I'm telling you. I watch your videos. You got Rhodes and you got fucking, you know what I mean? And you got some nice. I mean, most of all, let's start out there. Jackson heads. All right, Jackson. There it is. Right. So Jackson, what the fuck, dude? Come on. You got your boy right here, and you got me. What's up? You know. We'll sign some papers. Let's go.
I wouldn't mind it. The one thing about that, there was I did talk to a couple of people. One um uh friend I know from well, you probably heard of Ex Mortis.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, the singer Conan,
yeah. Go ahead.
him and I and my old band, we go back. We did a lot of shows with Ex Mortis. Um, we were fortunate enough to always get like this co-headlining spot with them because we had their promoter manager at the time. That was Conan's. That's Conan's dad and his production and promotion company where he was putting on local metal shows. He um, he did favor our band, and that wasn't without some work. We had to work
Of
for
course.
that favoritism, but he used to put us right there with Ex Mortis. Anyway, Conan, he's got his I'm not sure exactly what his endorsement or is with Jackson. I don't know what but I do know because I did ask him. I was like, what's the agreement with them? I was like, are you exclusive to Jackson? And he said yes. He goes, I cannot play any other brands on video.
Wow.
And whatever, and I'm sure on stage as well. Um, and that's where I was like, damn it, because although most of my guitars are Jacksons,
Correct.
I do have three Deans, and I
Oh
got a
yeah, that's right.
Kramer, and I have a Fender, and an Ibanez, and I would kind
Even
of
even though
not
it's under
like
the
to have
even though it's the same company, you know,
I
like Fender.
because of Fender, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know about Fender, but as far as like, I mean, because I love my Deans. I got a new
yeah,
Dean
yeah.
here that I've yet to put in a video, but yeah, but my Deans and my Ibanez and my Kramer, I wouldn't want to not play them, in
Ah,
my videos because of if if it was Jackson saying, yeah, I'm sorry, you can't play those in your video. It's a conflict of interest. And I
ah.
get it. I totally get it. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean?
No, it's a
Because
business. It's a
when you're
business.
repping for a brand, and that's the relationship you have to build when you're endorsed is you have that agreement saying he's like, yeah, look, you're helping us promote our product, even if you're a small fish in the sea,
Of
you're
course.
still a part of our team, and
Yeah.
and artist relations brought you in, so you have to do what we say. So
Absolutely.
it's understandable. It is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. No, but I mean, with your collection is just so unique because, I feel like, to be honest with you, like that's why I love watching. I'm like, oh, he's got that one now. Oh, he has that one. Like I'm like, like if I would have been questioned, like, hey, how many roads does freaking Uncle Sasquatch have? Oh, he has this many, and he has this one with the Floyd road. You know what I mean? Like I just,
Mhm.
but I mean, I know you got a lot, but what are your favorite ones to play? What are your favorite Jacksons to play?
My favorite ones are my Randy Rhodes.
No,
Well, I what I have one.
because you got a
Uh,
dinky too, right?
no, I don't have a dinky.
Oh, you don't have a dinky? Okay, I thought you had a
No, I
dinky.
got I have my rack back there. It's all roads. I have a
Nice.
8 roads on that rack. I
Damn.
have another roads right here on this stand, which
Yeah.
I'll reach it and pull it out. It's one of my favorites, man.
Yeah.
Um, and while we're on here, and while I'm pulling this out, I will do a shout out. Um,
Okay.
this is The
Oh,
Exorcist,
that's fucking dope.
done by if you go to his Instagram, it's at insane. Well, it's the insane is spelled with a Z, at insane skins.
Oh, yeah, I follow
Um,
them too. Yeah, yeah.
dude,
They did the Fruit Loops one, right?
yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
fucking
to
sick. Yeah.
yeah, I got to meet him at NAM. I don't know if you saw his booth.
I did. I did. I was just kidding candy store, brother.
Yes, dude,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So it was great to. I mean, him and I have been talking, and we chat for the past uh, more than a year or so, and
Yeah.
man, so I mean, obviously, when anybody who watches most of my videos, the Randy Rhodes are my favorite guitars. I love
Of
them.
course.
Um,
Same here. Same
just
here.
the just the ergonomics of them. They're comfy. They look fucking badass. I love flying
Yes.
these.
Yeah.
And they're just comfy to me. They're light. Although I'm a very big guy too, I mean, they're already a small guitar.
Yeah.
So they
You
look even
make them.
smaller on me.
Fuck, bro. You
So
make, like, I'm telling you, dude. You make those shits look like twigs, dude. I swear to God.
I know,
Because when I
I
saw
know.
you I mean, I was like, this. I know this is Tom motherfucker. I know this is Tom motherfucker. And when I met you, and when I saw you at Nam, I was like, fuck, you're taller than me. Because I'm a tall drink of water myself. Okay, you know. But then when I was like, God damn, there's the Sasquatch part. All right, fuck, all right. But I mean, you see, that's the thing is like you're tall, dude. Is it like, is it harder? Because I'm like, bass, bass, you can knock that out easily. But guitar, do you find that kind of harder because you're taller, or no?
No, not at
No?
all.
Okay, okay. Because you
No, I
play
don't know.
low as fuck too.
I don't. You know what? To me, I don't feel it's that low. I would say
Yeah.
my guitar is about mid body. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
playing at arm's length like James Hetfield. I
No,
can't play like
no,
that.
no, no, no.
So because I play with this, whatever this angle is at my arm when I'm standing,
Uh-huh,
so
uh-huh.
it's about
Sternum.
mid belt level.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's that low. It's funny too because back in the day I used to play at dad height when I was standing. I used to play with the guitar up to my chest almost.
Oh shit, no
Um,
way.
yeah, when I was first learning, and then
Ah.
and playing while I was standing, I used to play it really high.
When he was
But
nephew Sasquatch. Okay.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, okay. All right, damn.
But
Okay.
no,
Okay.
I love the roads are just it's my favorite shape. They're the most comfortable. They're great for rhythm, and then of course easy for shredding because I can get in the high frets. There's
Hell
no
yeah.
cutaway that
Oh
impedes my
yeah.
hand. That's the biggest thing that'll bug me about a guitar with a cutaway. Because speaking of like, if playing a guitar that maybe matches my body more, like my ML, my dime bag guitar,
Mhm.
it's a big guitar, so it
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
looks, did better on me since it's bigger. But
yeah.
the thing with an ML is the cutaway, it just comes right here in my hand.
Oh yeah,
And it just makes it hard to move my fingers. So at least with a V, I have some freedom.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but the surprisingly, you would think that the ML, because you see dime shred on his guitars, but I can't get, for some reason I can't play on that kind of cutaway. I have to have a big open access, and so if it's not
Yeah.
this, then it's my Ibanez, because the Ibanez is definitely a shredder guitar because the cutaway is so
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I do have I was fooling around on my Dean Z that I
Mhm.
got
Mhm.
just a month or so ago, and that is my first Explorer. Um,
Oh, okay. Okay.
so that's obviously a big guitar. That's a
Yeah.
little bit more, it's a James Hetfield style.
Yeah.
but
It's for the
that
it's for the
guitar,
big boys. It's for the big
yes,
boys.
yeah,
It's for
yeah.
the, let's just be real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
But
mean,
that one, the
that's
Gnome right now, it's going to be easier to shred on for sure than the ML.
nice, nice. No, I mean, and it's like that's the closest thing you're probably gonna get to a bass as a guitar, unless you get like a baritone or some shit. But
Mm,
you know,
no,
yeah,
no.
you know. But I think the biggest travesty we could kind of talk about too is just like, dude, there was no Jackson at NAMM as the
Yeah,
wrap up, bro.
that's been the past couple or 3 years or more. I don't know.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that
Yeah.
because I went to the first time I went to NAMM was 10 years ago. I know.
Okay.
For me, this was a reunion. This was the comeback, right? This was like,
Okay.
hey,
This is your first time back since they reopened?
yeah, yeah, since they
Okay.
reopened, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Hey," and me and my buddy Eric, the one that you met,
Yeah.
the little one that we,
The really short guy.
the short guy. You're like, he's like, dude, that cracks me up still to this day. He's like, I don't know if you know this, but I'm short, and, and your face was like, really, I didn't know this.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, yeah,
I was putting my elbow on his head.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, no, Eric, brother, you that tall, but you shred like a motherfucker, bro. Come on, man. Like your personality is
Right.
as tall as Sasquatch, bro. Don't worry, man. I fucking love you, man. I fucking
Yeah.
Eric, I fucking love you, brother. But and I didn't know that. And we kind of like you and I just got that connection, that dumbfounded connection, right? We're just like, you're fucking kidding me with this shit, you know? And dude, it was heartbreaking for me. It was heartbreaking for me.
Hey, dude, that sucked. It was like that it was like that last year.
Ah,
Um, I would say this year was a bit more fun for me more than last year
yeah,
because just more of a fanboy side.
yeah.
Because like you got to I ran into Frankie Bello and Doug Pinnick. Um, there's more of the rock stars. Yeah, there's 2 days there where John Petrucci was there and I missed it.
Oh, dude, that
There
fool
were one.
had a whole army around him, dude.
I know.
I was like, fuck. I ain't gonna get to him. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I would have liked to have met him, but I actually passed upon him to go hang out at Frank Bello's booth when he was at Tech 21, demoing his new pedal. But no, I think it was cooler as far as meeting a lot of the different people. David Ellison was walking around,
Yeah.
and they were all cool. Last year I didn't see anybody. I met Rudy Sarzo again for the second
Oh,
time, but
nice. Yeah.
Rudy Sarzo was there last year,
Oh, wow.
and Jerry Holt was there last year. He was there this year too, but
He goes every year. That motherfucker.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's always there.
Yeah, that
He's
motherfucker's
always there.
always there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to talk about a real uncle? That's the fucking
Yeah.
that's the metal uncle right there. That motherfucker walked in there looking like Theo personified. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with no Jackson there, it was because like one of the first years I went, or I think it was the first year I went before the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
The Jackson booth was awesome. It was like, well, it was a whole room, and David Ellison, Marty Friedman, and Gus G were all just hanging out, and got to meet them and take pictures with them. And
Man.
but it sucked not seeing Jackson. The thing is, I guess with Jackson, Fender, Charvel, who else who was under Fender? EVH guitars.
EVH. Yeah.
They they don't. I guess they don't need to be there anymore. And
That's scary to think, dude. That's scary to
yeah,
think of how big that company is, man. Because it's like, brother, like they got the fans. Like, why not? But
I don't
motherfuckers
think
know that.
it probably
Yeah.
cost them more than what they have in return because
Yeah.
I
You
don't
think
think it
so?
helps them with sales. They don't need it. They don't need NAM.
Yeah.
And
That's
there's
true.
even speculation with some people out there who have said that we may not even. Who knows if there'll even be a NAM sometime wherever in the future. Um,
Really?
well,
Think
when
so?
you think about it, that whole upstairs, the past 2 years that I've been there,
Yeah.
that whole upstairs has been empty, and that's where all the big dogs were hanging.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And who
Yeah.
was
That's true.
upstairs? Who was upstairs? The same as last year, but it was just ESP
Mm.
and Yamaha,
Oh shit.
um,
Oh shit.
PV.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
then like those pianos things too.
yeah,
Like the yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
all the Fender, Jackson, Gibson, Charvel, Schecters,
Yeah.
they would have their own rooms up there,
Wow.
and all those
Oh yeah,
rooms
that's
were
right. Yeah.
just seminars. They were just empty.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was looking for.
that whole
Yeah.
upstairs used to be occupied with the big brands.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I guess there's some speculation that those might have been some of the bigger contributors in a way to
Yeah.
NAM. And they probably don't need to be there anymore. They don't need the marketing. They don't need to go to an annual event to say, here's the new such and such guitar from our brand that's going to be out this year. You know.
No, it's cheaper to just post it and then just like,
Yep.
yeah. I
Yep.
mean, whatever. I mean, it's their company; they can do whatever the fuck they want. They know we're gonna keep buying it, so I mean, that's all that matters, right? That we keep buying it, but they keep outputting a good product. You know what I mean? But yeah,
they can give a new guitar to a launch to a bunch of YouTubers
yeah,
and say, here, promote this guitar, saying this is going to be coming out. Because there's more of an audience on some of these YouTubers like your Ola Englands and your Jared Dines and whoever the hell they say, here's whatever it is you charge, to review a guitar, because they do charge. The YouTubers do charge.
No, I know, yeah.
And some of them I've heard, I won't say from who told me this, but they shared this info to me.
Yeah.
But there's a small guitar company that was talking about that when he had gotten a hold of a management or whatever agent that represents Stevie T Berry, the fucking the stupid him, and I think Ryan Bruce, and I want to say the other was Jared Dines, and but he had said that Stevie T Berry charges like $5,500 to review something.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think that the brands would probably, the big brands, but the little brands do it. They do pay that, but the big brands would rather pay that anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 for a YouTuber to say, we'd rather give you the money and have you showcase this guitar than pay for who knows how many thousands, tens of thousands of dollars it does to have a room that big in them. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. You got to look at it as a marketing standpoint, man. And it's just crazy how, I mean, it's sad because it's like, what about, those young cats? You know what I mean? Like, because you and I, we grew up listening to this, man, and Nam was probably like, hey, like, dude, this is where you could be close to it. You know what I mean? Like that aspiring musician, right? Because there was probably a time where you walked in, you saw Randy Rhoads, and you're like, I want to play that guitar. That's what I want. That's what I want to get. Same thing with me. Hey, I saw Elfson's guitar, right? I saw fucking Cliff Burton's guitar, right? I want to play music. That now if you don't have the hall, I mean, yeah, they got the social media, but it's completely different when you walk into that room and you just feel the air conditioning and you feel other people's energy and you're just like, fuck, like, oh shit, like, and now I need to buy it.
Dude, the times have changed though, and I've started to accept that more. I would still say that I am, I've become the old guy in the room, but I've also accepted that we are in the digital age, and that is the way you put your product. We no longer need that magazine that shows a big centerfold of a new Jackson coming out. You know what I mean? We now can go on YouTube and click Jackson such and such, or Dean, or Ibanez, blah blah blah, and you have a page of YouTubers, holding this guitar and giving their paid review on it. You know what I mean?
That's true, brother. That's true.
So that's just the way to do it, and now these, your brand guitars can pay just a few bucks and having a commercial or advertisement run in your feed about their new guitar. So why pay for it to be in a magazine? Why pay for it to be at NAMM? Why pay for anything else, and then to do something that's just a keystroke away now?
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's just how it is now, and we just have to. It's at a time where it's just like, okay, like the car has been invented, so it's just like, you don't want to cross the street and get ran over, so.
No, that's true, man. I know. I mean, think of them going away. I don't think so, but I think for guys like you and me, yeah, it's possible. You're right. I agree with you on that, man.
I mean, I hope it doesn't go away. But
yeah.
I mean, it's been a cool thing. It's still a cool networking thing, because it was awesome to meet John from Insane Scans in person, and to see his guitars, and we were even talking about it. I'll only mention it in passing, but him and I are going to get another guitar going with some art on it.
Nice.
And so I gave him some ideas, and he goes, all right. And I was like, well, this is what I have in mind. And he goes, well, lead me to it. I was like, well, I will. You're the artist, so you do it. So he's going to make me another I'll say it's a movie themed guitar like the Exorcist one.
Okay, okay,
It's not a Rhodes, I'll say that,
okay,
but
okay.
it is gonna have some some kind of movie graphics on it of one of my favorite movies. But anyway,
Nice,
but
nice, nice.
it was cool to meet him in person. It was we
Yeah.
I went to his booth both days and we just sat there and we just bullshitted and just talked about all kinds of just random things and you know and that part of networking was cool just to just to sit there and just meet someone like that. And it's the same thing as like with some of my other endorsements, like with get 'em straps and going out and hanging at Virginia's booth. Virginia is the founder of Get 'em, and they make this. I've been using their straps since I was in my mid-teens.
Oh
um
shit. Oh shit.
and so when she actually asked me to be a part of, as an artist with her brand, I was like, yes, of course, hell yeah.
Hey, fuck yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, I was trying to get people to buy your straps before I was endorsed to you. I
Yeah,
was like, yeah,
yeah,
you got me. I was like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So meeting her, this past couple of years and hanging out and having some drinks with her and the get 'em, team as well. And um, another shout out to Keith from Sue Mountain Cables.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's plugged with my mic.
It's
But
yeah, yeah, it's in the mic. Yeah, yeah. Don't want to disconnect the shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, with Tsunami Cables, it's being an artist with these brands it's a relationship,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and that's
yeah,
one cool thing about NAM is that I get to see these people and I get to hang with them and get the pictures and ask about how you've been and how's the brand going and how's life and the family and
yeah,
and catching up. And it's just that is one of the cool things about NAM is just getting together with these people and talking with them and because there's times in between that where although we do talk and text that we do get personal and keep up and feel each other on life, but it's his business,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
we got to sometimes get to the nitty gritty and talk about things and talk about orders and promoting and me doing my part as the best I can
yeah, yeah,
to showcasing that brands the brands and saying this is what I've been using for a long time. And so and NAM is cool for those brands too who are
yeah,
the working class,
yeah,
so it's cool to see them when they have booths and trying to get their product out there and them hearing about them doing their meetings, because I asked them about it and I asked them about their business and and it's like, well, just teach me something, fill me in just so I understand what you're going
yeah,
through.
yeah, yeah,
It's like because I'll tell them I was like I want to know, I really do want to know as a business partner and as your friend, tell me what it is you have to deal with NAM. And when they fill me in on some of this, it's just like I was like I could never do it,
yeah.
so
No,
it's
and
just hats off to them.
exactly, exactly. And then I think that also ultimately it's like, yeah, I like how you said like, hey, yeah, we're cool, we're good, we're buddies and stuff, but the business side, but that makes the business side fun, right? It doesn't
Yes,
have to
yes,
be doom
sure.
and gloom. It doesn't have to be like, we got to get suited up and all this bullshit. You're just like, hey, you know what? Yeah, like I am your endorser or whatever it may be. Like, hey, but we cool, we could groove, right? But just learn, right? I like how the best word again is networking with it, man. Because like
Hmm.
when I read it was cool because and I want to say kudos to you, brother. You have such a good energy because like when you know, and I could read people too. When I walked up and I saw it, I was like, oh, it's Uncle Sasquatch. Like motherfucker, I felt like I'd known you for like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like oh,
we just started chatting.
it was just, hey, what's up, dude? Like, oh, what's
Yeah,
up? Yeah, yeah. Like we just knew each other. I was like, oh, fuck, we just kicked it off. And
yep.
I don't really do that with people. I don't really do that with, I mean, not to say that everybody's bad or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I never get that type of reaction. Like, hey, well, let's just talk, fucking, and we were talking for like 10 minutes right there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, man. So no, it's kudos to you, man. It's just, that's what we need more in the community, right? That attitude, right? That positive energy, just like, hey, dude, let's cool, let's groove. You know what I mean? So
I try to keep things like that, you know,
yeah.
as friendly as possible. And I always try to, I mean, I definitely, I always make jokes, but I have like a resting bitch face. And I've been told I'm unapproachable by a lot of people, which, you know, at work, that's fine, you know, because I don't want to
Yeah,
talk to anybody at work
yeah, it's
for the
work, dude.
most
It's
part.
fucking work. Yeah, 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 yeah,
But other than that, I do try to, you know, keep that, you know, just something friendly going on, and try to, and just I try not to, you know, I don't want to be awkward around someone when they come up to say hi,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
because it's a little bit disappointing when, and I do understand it in a way, but it's disappointing when if you see a certain online personality, um, and I'm just gonna fucking throw his name out there.
Do it,
Ola
man.
England. Ola England.
Yeah,
You know, he comes off bubbly and silly in his videos, and I
yeah,
used to really enjoy his stuff. I really don't watch him anymore, but
yeah.
anyway, he was at NAM, and I went to go meet him, and took the pictures and posted them in my story, and people were replying, and they were all stoked for it. And some of them kind of asking, "Cool, you know, how was he?" And I would just say, "He's fucking weird. He's awkward. You know,
Ah,
you can tell he doesn't know what to say. He just kind of that he's just socially crippled for whatever reason. I don't know
mm.
if he's just shy, but it's,
Maybe,
you know, and
maybe.
I wasn't let down by it. I really wasn't. Um, I knew I already had a feeling he was going to be like that, and I really didn't want to get into that much conversation with him when I met him. It was, you know, my my friend was joking about it. He took a picture of us, and he says, because he thought our conversation was weird because the first thing I go to Ola, I was like, "How tall are you, dude?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh," and he was talking to metrics. He goes, "Well, I'm 196." I'm like, "What?" Dude, I was like, "I'm American, man." I was like, "No, no,
Come
dude."
on, come on. We don't do that.
Yeah,
We don't do
but
that.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we just started getting to talking about standing straight and slouching, and because he was saying, he goes, "Well, I'm a sloucher and this and that, blah blah blah." And that was just the only thing I could think of was just to talk about. I don't want to say anything. Oh, you know, I'm a fan, and
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just talked about each other's height for a moment, and I was like, "Cool." I was like, "Well, I was like, my friend's taking a picture. Look over that way for me, please." But you know, thank you, and
Yeah.
whatever the hell.
Yeah, but
So
that's everybody that and that's the thing. We could kind of wrap it up today with that, man, is because like one of the things that when you meet people, especially when I do interviews, right? Like, because I never meet these people, right? Some that I get, they're like, hey, you're gonna do a show with this person, cool, awesome, and it's just like everybody's different. Everybody has that like unique energy, man. Everybody has that one thing. It's just like they're cool, like yeah, like Ola, like I saw him too. I ran into him too, and it's like I see what you mean. You know what I mean? It's just
mhm,
everyone has that different energy. That
yeah,
just this is it's just weird, and maybe it's just because you and I live down the street from each other. We're just oh, what's up, dude?
more
Yeah,
outgoing, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But just like we could, again, it's just the way we interpreted things, right? It's just the way we
Mhm.
could give off that light. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, brother, like I was about to say, dude, let's go fucking. I don't drink, but I've been like, dude, let's go get you a drink and we'll talk. But
Now,
Sask,
when
yeah,
with other interviews, have you ever? I mean, it's like that brings up a question. Like, have you
yeah,
ever had interviews with people and you just like really had to dig just to get a couple words out of them because they don't
motherfucker,
know what to
dude.
say?
Oh my God. I'm not okay. Look, I'm not gonna call the motherfucker out,
No, sure,
but
no, no.
but I'm not again, I've had people where like they're not even paying attention and there's some that are just like me, 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 me. And I'm like, I'm cool. This is an hour about you, but then they get too personal. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm here to help you understand the music too. But then that me, me, me shit is like, how does that incorporate to your music? You know what I mean? And then some of them it's like it's and again it's not even somebody that I'll have on the show, but I'm like, brother, if you're gonna have somebody reach out to you, help them out, help them help you, right? Because I've
Yeah,
asked
sure.
bands, I'm like, send me your links, dude, because I'm doing you a favor to put everything together, package you, make you look good, send me your picture, send me your all, and they're like, oh, it's on my Instagram. Well, okay, motherfucker, like I understand that, but can you help me help you out? Like,
Yeah.
what pictures do you want? What links do you need? So to me, it's like when and you could tell I really have like I'll like a good interview when I'm just like, hey, like we're just jumping around,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just sometimes, yeah, some cats just like they just they don't maybe they're off that day or anything, but again, everybody's different. But to me, I hold near and dear to my heart when I can really groove with somebody, right? Where I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
like with you, right? Like I'm like, hey, you know what? Thank you for your time, Sasquatch. Thank you. You know, hey, brother, we grooving on that day. We both like the
Mhm.
same fucking bands, bro. Like, then why aren't we talking? You know what I mean?
Sure. Yes,
You see what I'm
exactly.
saying? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's that as an interview. Yeah, this it's hard sometimes, brother. It's hard sometimes.
I can imagine, dude. Like it's like there's I think of things like that too. Like when we were talking about just a little bit when we got started, watching certain interviewers and podcasters, they some of them seem to, and it's not like I want them to be an asshole, but I want them to not be afraid to ask something. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
so and it seems like they stay away from certain questions even when they have an opportunity. I'll give just one quick example. I was watching a kind of a recent interview with Jason Newsted. I'm
yeah,
not sure who the YouTuber's name was. I happened to come across it and
yeah,
I watched the interview and the they were talking the topics, most of it was pretty cool and they were digging deep and they got to a part where um the interviewer was talking about when Jason had been gone from the band, and in some kind of monster movie, Metallica had done a really, really small like bar show just
yeah,
for the hell of it,
yeah,
and they were playing on a stage that was really tiny. And when the interviewer was talking about it, for some reason he really liked that Metallica had did that, and Jason went, "That's a no for me." He goes, "No, no, no, no." He goes, "When they did that, no." And the interviewer just moved on. And if that was me, I would have been like, oh, okay, Jason, let's go with it. Tell me why. Why
yeah,
didn't you like
yeah,
that? You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it pisses me off when some interviewers they get scared. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I like to see a certain amount of edge. I
A
like to see
certain
him not
amount, yeah,
afraid,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and I
yeah,
like to
yeah,
see
yeah.
him just kind of just do what they want to do and ask what they want to ask. You know, unless they're told by a publicist to say, don't talk about this and this and this. You know, so but it's I think it's good to get a good natural and organic conversation going that if someone's willing to say something, it's just like, hey, roll with it. What do you got? What's on your mind?
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, exactly, man. That's where we're at, brother. That's where we're at, brother. And again, I want to appreciate you. What's going on, dude? You know, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you, handling business, man. And again, I don't want to cut. I hate cutting you off right now, brother. But I
no,
got
you're
another.
good.
I got another one at two.
All right, yeah, no, I
You
don't
know,
want to keep. I want to keep
yeah,
them
yeah,
waiting either.
yeah, yeah, that was, brother. So I mean, just real quick, where can people find you? Where can people do the shits? Talk to me.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. I have my Instagram. That's it's Uncle.Sasquatch. So that's my handle for Instagram. It's pretty easy to find. Same with with my YouTube. My link is whatever YouTube/user. I forgot with all Uncle Sasquatch and but if you do go to my Instagram, I do have my link tree that has all the links to my YouTube and also has the links to my profiles and all my endorsers and brands that I work with. If I can just give them a quick plug and a big thanks to
Yeah,
get them straps, chicken picks, guitar picks, tsunami cables, Hosatech. See, I don't want to forget anybody. I think that's it. If I'm forgetting one of you guys, I'm really sorry, but I think yeah, those are my guys. And another big shout out to Insane Skins for making the Randy Roads. But
that was sick, man. That's badass.
so you could
Yeah,
see a lot of the links to that in the link in my bio for my Instagram, and the brands I work with, and check them out. Check their pages. I'll give them a follow. Show them some love in some kind of way or another. And I would say that's pretty much it and where you can find me and everything I do. So.
there we go, brother. Uncle, Theo. Yeah, I appreciate your time, brother, man. Thank you so much, man. And